Welcome everybody to more bedwars. Today we're going to be talking about how I hate sore throats so much. They are the worst. Out of every known medical condition in the world, sore throats are the absolute worst. Okay, obviously that's hyperbole. There is way worse things that exist out there in the world, like cancer or, I don't know. Just think of any disease that people hate, like Alzheimer's, something like that. Like obviously that's worse. But today we are going to talking about my first world problems and how sore throats are the absolute worst. Granted, I can take out this red guy's bed over here real quick. So roughly a week ago at the time of recording this, although whenever you're watching this is going to be obviously a little bit different, but regardless though, I had a sore throat earlier this past week and it was the worst experience of my whole life. Now, I have had sore throats in the past. I think this goes without saying. I think everybody at some point in their life has had a sore throat unless you're like -5 years old and you have never had a sore throat, or maybe for some miraculous reason you have never had a sore throat in your life, which I like. Props to you, but for the rest of us, we are unfortunate enough to sometimes get sore throats, and it is the worst. It hurts so much. Like, think about what you do on a daily basis, going about your day, minding your own business, but every step of the way, like what's the ballpark? Like every 30 seconds or so, you got to swallow. And I don't know if this is just like a trope of having a sore throat or not, but I feel like my throat is so much more viscous, or maybe that's not the right word. That actually is not the right word. It's basically a lot more wet whenever I have a sore throat, meaning that I want to swallow a whole lot more, meaning that this is a very interesting this is completely innocent. Take nothing out of context. If you do, that is your own fault, not mine. But like when your throat is a lot more wet, that means you have to swallow a lot more. And when you have a sore throat, it is just going to be the most agonizing pain you have ever felt in your whole life. Like it just hurts. It's like, I don't know. I feel like there's different types of sore throatness, if that makes any sense. Like this past recent one was probably the worst I've ever had. Like for whatever reason, whenever I swallowed, it like cut off my, not circulation, but like my throat like closed in on itself, and it was weird. And then obviously it would like open up as soon as like the swallow was done or something like that. I don't know. I'm not like a doctor or anything like that, but like the point being, it was miserable. This is probably the worst sore throat I've ever had in my whole life, and I was doing everything in my power to mitigate this. And this was like, I don't know, like I said earlier this week, it was like Monday or something like that. And at the time I had no content. This was like after the whole like rant, if you will, about, hey, the old YouTube is coming back and it's great and it's amazing, and it was a pretty decent video, just shy of 1,000 views, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I was in a bit of a mild panic because I literally could not make videos because my voice, my throat, my everything, it was just dying. It would be the most like painful experience of my whole life. And like, I'll go the extra mile to make content, like right now I literally am congested and have been for like the past week, because during my whole sore throat disaster, I was literally like thinking to myself, I'd rather have a runny nose that bothers me, that I have to like blow like every other minute, rather than like put up with the pain of sore throat. Because as much as like, runny noses are annoying, it's not painful. You just have to, it's something you just gotta have to deal with. I mean, it can be a little bit annoying when you have like, you're sitting in a classroom like I do, or you're at work and every 5 seconds you're just like, sniffing. I'm not going to demonstrate because that's kind of gross, but it's like, it's kind of a nuisance to make that noise every time. You are not hitting me. That was the weirdest fight of my whole life. But like, I'd rather be congested and have to blow my nose like every 2 minutes. And it's not that bad, but like, I'd rather have that than have to deal with the pain of the sore throat. And like that's exactly how it went. On Monday, I had to write like, not an essay, but I had to write like a proposal or whatever. Point being, I had to write. I had to use my brain. I had to do things that were boring, that were like things that wouldn't accelerate the day. Like if I just sit and play Minecraft all day, like obviously as unproductive as that is, that will like vaporize the time. Time will just fly by. And ideally, that's what I want, because I want the time to go as fast as possible to get the day over with so I can sleep, so I can hopefully let my throat heal, which is obviously eventually what I did. But like before then, I just had to make it through the day, because oh my goodness, sore throats are the absolute worst and I hate them. And like I was saying, I was literally doing everything in my power humanly possible, I was pulling out like the infinity stones of like curing a sore throat. Like I usually like have like, ramen on standby, but I ate like 4 cups of ramen. Like I was just downing soup. I think I had like 2 to 3 glasses of chamomile tea. Like I was going through or not glasses, but like cups, mugs, if you will, just going through everything just to guarantee, hey, where you going? Hey, no, get out of here. I threw myself in the void. But I was pulling all the stops. I have like a throat medicine or whatever that I've been taking for the past week just to like guarantee that I am never going to contract this thing again. Or it wasn't really like a contraction, but it was just like, it was bad. I don't want to have a sore throat. And the worst part about it is like, I witnessed it happen. Like on Sunday, the day before, I was just, I woke up, no like threat in the world. It was Sunday. It was the weekend. All was well. I was completely fine. And then as the day like progressed, like the sore throat just became like, it just happened. It just spawned. I don't know how to describe it, but it just kept forming. And then the very next day, that Monday, it was just pain. And it was just miserable. Like the day before, that Sunday, I did do everything in my power to like, prevent it from happening, like taking, whatever, my throat spray or whatever, eating soup. Obviously I didn't go overkill and, have 4 like things of it or whatever. Of course, I drank the broth, one because, the broth is actually pretty decent and, that would be a bit wasteful to throw away the broth. But like, that's like the most important part of the soup is to drink the broth because it's hot liquids. Like just basically I was just downing a bunch of hot liquids because I was not tolerating any of that sore throatness. And the worst part about it is that like there was no momentary like relief or anything of the sort. Like it just kept going. It just kept pursuing. It's like, nope, I'm here now. I'm the sore throat and I'm in control of your life and you are going to live with me whether you like it or not. And it was just overall miserable. But overall, that was my Monday. Absolute torture. I hated it so much. But obviously the next day, as you can imagine, by, the ridiculous amount of soup and all that stuff that I, drank, I guess. Like, obviously, I was bound to heal, which is exactly what happened. I was, fine. I woke up the next morning. All was well in terms of my throat. And, I was very congested, even more so congested. I don't know what witchcraft is going on, but I'm a little bit concerned for my safety. Anyways, I was mostly congested, and that's how it's been for the past week. So I've tolerated it, but, that arguably was not the worst of it. So obviously, sore throat, how could it be much worse? Well, imagine when you're trying to sleep, you're trying to sleep, you're trying to get over a sickness, and then the world says, you know what, we don't actually want you to sleep. We want you to suffer. What are you doing? What are you doing? You have no health. You took a ton of fall damage. Am I going to lose? No, I'm not. Okay, that was interesting. GG, I guess. But when I tell you that the sleep was the worst of it, oh my goodness, that is honestly an understatement. So the first day, right, I went to bed, I drank my 4 cups of soup, I was doing everything in my power to like mitigate the sore throats. Obviously, at the time did no good, but long term, that's really what mattered. So I went to sleep. It was a bit of, trouble because obviously I was just in pain the whole time. But, once I got to sleep, I was fine, right? So there I was, falling asleep, happily dozing, and then the universe woke me up because it said, you know what, we don't want you to recover from the sore throat, we want you to suffer. So I woke up middle of the night and then I'm dying. And at the time I had no idea what time it was because it's not a good idea to go on your phone, when you wake up in the middle of the night or something like that. Hello, this bed is mine. I'm sorry, I hate to confiscate it, but it is mine and you can't place blocks to save your life. That's not a thing. Hey, again, you can't play. Okay, you didn't cover your feet. You should really cover your feet next time. But luckily for me, the universe smiled upon me and eventually I fell back asleep. And then when I woke up the next morning, like I said, everything was fine. I woke up, I was very congested, but I didn't have a sore throat anymore. I mean, swallowing was a bit like weird. It felt clunky, but I was not in pain every time I swallowed, which was like the ultimate thing that mattered. And, I moved on with my day. Everything was fine. Tuesday was, like I said, it was whatever. But when I tell you that Tuesday night was the worst, oh my goodness, it was horrible. I hated it so much. So Tuesday night, I went to bed, all was fine at the time, and then same issue. I woke up and it was like one of the like grossest wake up sequences that one can possibly imagine. I'm not going to go into detail because it's really, really disgusting, but I'm just going to give you a couple puzzle pieces. I go to sleep, runny nose, and yeah, those are the details you're gonna get. So it was thoroughly disgusting, and like my nose was just completely like blocked. I wasn't like blocked from circulation or anything like that, but I was still very congested, and it was a total mess. I was blowing my nose middle of the night, and it was just pain because my nose was like, hey, you gotta blow me every 5 seconds. Okay. We're just gonna pretend I never said that. But it was initially annoying. But eventually, you know, I did fall back asleep. Luckily, the universe once again, you know, shined down upon me and said, you know what, you're suffering enough. You can go back to sleep. So that's what I did. And then I proceeded to wake up again. And then the cycle repeated itself. I woke up, it was a disgusting mess, and then, you know, I blew my nose for a little bit, and eventually I fell back asleep. And this happened for like a total of 3 times. I woke up 3 times in one night, a time where I wasn't even in pain because of a sore throat or anything like that. Like, I was just congested, and I've been obviously congested before, but it had never been to the point to where I was waking up like multiple times a night. It was bad. It was horrible. Where are you going? Are you not gonna bother to fight back? Okay, that's cool, I guess. So obviously that time was a total nightmare. But since then, I've recovered. I've been, you know, doing precautionary measures or something like that. This past night or whatever, I didn't use the throat spray because I thought that, you know, everything is fine. And obviously by the fact that I'm recording videos right now, everything did turn out fine, which is good. I'm still, you know, maybe want to consider drinking soup from time to time. But aside from that, I think everything is fine. We made a very swift recovery, mainly because I went completely overkill with my usage of, you know, I was going to say substances, but that has a very negative connotation to it. Basically, I did everything in my power to mitigate the sore throat, and everything is fine. But still, when I say that sore throats are the worst, oh my goodness, I absolutely hate them. I mean, luckily nowadays I don't get them as much anymore, but like for whatever reason, I think it was like junior or senior year of high school, I swear I got like a sore throat every week. There was not a week that went by where I didn't have a sore throat. It was horrible. What are you doing? You can't just fireball away all your problems. No. It's gonna fireball away you. That's what you get. That's what you deserve. Are you just gonna run? Are you just gonna run? No. Can I bow you? I can bow you there. And there you go. I win the game. Or did I not? Okay, no, I did. Yay, look at that. 275 bedwars XP. Woo! So that was another riveting episode of bedwars. If you enjoy, feel free to, you know, like and subscribe and all that type of stuff. I feel like a majority of my like bedwars like rants pretty much are very negative. Like I think the last positive one was the old YouTube is back video, which honestly was not that long ago. But like before then, like when was the last positive one? You know what? Next time, I'm making a point right now. Hopefully I remember this. Next like bedwars rant video or whatever, we're going to make it positive. We're not going to complain. We're not going to talk about my first world problems. We are going to make a positive video. We're going to be talking about, I don't know, puppies or something like that. Anyways, if you enjoyed whatever this video was, you know, as per usual, I guess, feel free to, you know, like and subscribe and all that type of stuff. And yeah, I guess I'm going to do something else, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.